Hello students, welcome back to the maths class. Today we are going to start from question number 5. In the previous session we have finished till question number 4. We are solving the NCERT textbook exercise 9.2 questions. So we have finished till question number 4 last time, and today we are starting from the question number 5. So see, in the question number 5 what we have given: in an AP, Pth term is 1 upon Q and Qth term is 1 upon P. Normally we say fifth term, seventh term, eighth term. Okay, so like that it is given. Pth term is given as 1 upon Q and Qth term is given as 1 upon P. Then we have to show that the sum of PQ term is 1 upon 2 into PQ plus 1, where P and Q are not equal. This question I hope you may have done in the class 10th also as a hot question, but in the class 11 it will be a routine question for you. Okay, so let us see how we can solve it. First of all, we shall write down the two given things in the question. We have given that Pth term. So normally nth term we show by an. So Pth term we will show by AP, that is equal to 1 upon Q. Okay, and we have given that one more thing here. Qth term means AQ will be equal to 1 upon P. That is, these two things are given in the question. Okay, so first of all we shall make it clear what we have to prove and what we have given in the question. So we have given that these two things. The Pth term is 1 upon Q and Qth term is 1 upon P. Then what we need to prove it here? We need to prove here sum of PQ terms. Means if I say sum of 10 terms, then similarly the sum of PQ terms, so APQ is equal to, they are saying you need to bring 1 upon 2 into the bracket PQ plus 1. Okay, now let us see how we can prove it here. So let us write down in the proof. So first of all we shall take the given things over here. What we have given, that we will see. So see, first given is we have given AP is equal to 1 upon Q. That is given. Okay, now the value of AP is A plus P minus 1 into D is equal to Q. Now here it will be used a formula. We know that since the value of an is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. So similarly in the place of n we have given now P, so that we have replaced over here. So value of A plus P minus 1 into D I got as 1 upon Q. This one I am giving as equation number 1. Okay, now again we have given that one more thing. What we have given here? We have given that one more thing here, that AQ is equal to 1 upon P, right? So AQ, if it is given as 1 upon P, so we shall apply in the same manner the value of AQ. Okay, so formula of AQ means the value of AQ I am using by the formula AN. So that will be A plus Q minus 1 into D will be equal to 1 upon P. That will be second equation. Now see, actually the first and second equation are two linear equation in terms of A and D, where P and Q I am supposing constant. Okay, so here I will try to find out the value of D. Value of D I will place in equation 1 or 2, so as I will get the value of A, and that after that I will try to find out the sum of PQ terms. Okay, so our initial job is here to find out the value of A and D. So here I am solving it equation 1 and 2. For solving I am eliminating the variable A. So from equation 1 I am subtracting equation 2. You can do opposite also. From second equation you can subtract first. So here what is my first equation? A plus P minus 1 into D is equal to 1 upon q. Okay, and what is my second equation? A plus q minus 1 into d is equal to 1 upon p. Okay, so now let us subtract. This is minus, minus, and this one is also minus. Now you observe the second a sign has been changed, so this a and this a will be cancelled. Okay, now from the two terms lying in the left hand side, I will take d common, means p minus 1 into d and q minus 1 into d. D can come common here, so d I am taking common. Then what will remain inside? Then it will remain p minus 1 in the bracket minus in the bracket q minus 1, okay, is equal to 1 upon q minus 1 upon p. Okay, normally in the number is there, we can subtract directly, but here since alphabets are coming, so it will take some time to simplification. Now d into the bracket p minus 1, we shall keep it as it is, and minus sign I will multiply in q and minus 1. So it will become minus of q plus 1 is equal to, here I have taken the LCM as pq. So cross multiplication will give you p minus q, right? Now here you observe 1 and 1 got cancelled. So remaining is d into the bracket p minus q, okay, is equal to p minus q upon pq, right? Now p minus q and p minus q, that is also cancelled because both are in the multiplication, or you can say they lie on the either side of the equation. So same term will be always cancelled. So here what will remain? Now it will remain here d is equal to 1 upon pq. This is your first value we required. Okay, now value of d I am keeping in the equation number 1. So we shall say now therefore by equation first. Okay, equation number 1, we'll see once what we have written there. Equation number 1 is a plus p minus 1 into d is equal to 1 upon q. So let us write down the equation. A plus p minus 1 into d. So value of d I have here 1 upon pq is equal to 1 upon q. Okay, now p minus 1 into 1 upon pq I am sending on to that side. So value of a will be equal to 1 upon q minus p minus 1 upon pq. Now q and pq LCM we can take here pq. Okay, otherwise you can multiply also, that is not a problem. In that case from the numerator you need to take common q. So here I am taking the LCM pq. So cross multiplication will not be possible here because in the LCM common terms are there from both the denominator. Okay, so pq if I divide by q, remaining is p, and p I will multiply in 1, it will become p only, and here it will come only p minus 1. Okay, now if I go further, so this will be p minus p plus 1 whole divided by pq. Here p and p got cancelled, so the value of a would be equal to, we can say that therefore the value of a will be equal to 1 upon pq. Okay, so now you see we got the value of a also and value of d also. So now let us focus on the sum of pq terms. Now see what they're asking. Sorry, here I think I have mentioned wrong. I have written a pq, it should be sum of pq terms. So we shall correct it now. This will be sum of pq terms. Okay, so sorry for this will be sum of PQ term is equal to half of PQ plus 1. Okay, so let us find out the value of sum of PQ terms. So let us see. Now we know that, since we know that the formula of Sn is sum of n term is n upon 2 into the bracket and then 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, so this is a formula. Now here value of n is given to us in the question as PQ. So we shall put up here sum of PQ terms means SPQ. SPQ is equal to, it would be value of n, I will keep it here also. So this will be PQ upon 2 into the bracket 2 into a means value of a I have now 1 upon PQ. Similarly plus PQ minus 1 and then again value of d I will keep it as 1 upon PQ only because a and d both are same. Now let us simplify further. So this will be PQ upon 2 will be as it is. Okay, into the bracket PQ I am taking the LCM. Okay, so here in the numerator it will come 2 and here it will come PQ minus 1 because denominators are same and same denominator only I have taken the LCM. So therefore we can say that the numerator will come as it is. Now PQ upon 2 will be as it is for some time, and here 2 and minus 1 we can add, it will become plus 1. So we will get here PQ plus 1 upon PQ will be as it is. Now PQ and PQ we can cancel and see what do we get here. We can see that therefore sum of PQ term will be equal to 1 upon 2 into the bracket PQ plus 1, and see this was only required to be proved in the question. Okay, sum of PQ term they were saying bring it as half of PQ plus 1, and that only we have brought in the question. Okay, now let us see the question number 5. So in the question number 5, see what we have given to us. Sorry, question number 6. What we have given here. If the sum of certain number of terms of the AP is 116, we have to find out the last term. So let us write down the given things first. Then we can easily find out the required things. So see what we have given in this question. We have given that AP, one AP is given to us 25, 22, 19, dash dash dash, we can see. Okay, dash is not given there, but definitely it will go up till some term because then only they are asking the last term. And what we have given here, we have given that A is equal to 25, D is equal to 22 minus 25. So this will be equal to minus sign of 3, and value of Sn, sum of n terms, is given here as 116. We don't know the value of n and we don't know the value of last term. That is only required in the question. In place of last term, you can use the symbol an also. Okay, now let us see how to find out. See, directly if I apply the formula of last term or the value of an, then formula will be a plus n minus 1 into d. In that a and d we know, but n we don't know. So to find out the value of n first, we shall apply the formula of Sn. So we can say that since the value of Sn is equal to n upon 2 into the bracket 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, so value of Sn, how much we have given here? 116 is equal to n upon 2, because value of n we don't know here, into the bracket 2 into 25 plus n minus 1 will be again as it is, and the value of d I am keeping here as minus sign of 3. Okay, this 2 upon 2 is common actually, so upon 2 I will shift here, so it will multiply with 116. So 116 multiplied by 2 is equal to n into the bracket 2 into 25 will be 15, minus sign of 3n, and then plus 3 minus 3 I have multiplied over there. Okay, now we shall go further. 116 into 2, I think this will become 232 is equal to n into the bracket 53 minus 3n. Now n we shall multiply inside, and 232 also we shall bring onto that side. Okay, so I think it can be, suppose if we keep 232 this side only, then this will be actually 53n minus 3n square. Now we can bring both the terms of right hand side onto this side. So this will be 3n square minus 53n, okay, and plus 232 is equal to 0. Now, see, we require two numbers whose multiplication should be equal to 3 into 232 and addition should be equal to 53. So, let us find out the factors of 232. 232 came from 116 into 2, and we have one more number along with that 3, because we have to multiply 3 and 232. Okay, so 3 also I have taken, and 116 I can say it is a multiplication of 58 into 2, again into 2, and then again into 3, and 58 I can write down as 29 into 2. So again two more 2's will be there and one 3 will be there. Let us see now. More than this we cannot find out any factors. Okay, so if we suppose 2 into 2 4, 4 to the 8, and 8 into 3 24. See, if I multiply this all 2 2 2 and 3, this will give me a multiplication 24. So observe, 29 into 24 will be equal to definitely 3 into 232, means whatever the multiplication required, and 29 plus 24 will be equal to here 53. So I think my two factors are 29 and 24. So we shall keep it here 3n square minus 29n minus 24n and plus 232 is equal to 0. Now from 3 and 29n we cannot take any common except n. So only n I am taking common. So here it will remain 3n minus 29. Okay, and from 24 and 232 what can be taken common? We know that 24 factors can be here, 2 into 2 into 2 to the 4, 4 again one more 2 will come, and then 3 will come. So these are the factors of 24. And observe, in 232 1 2 we can, sorry, 1 3 we can leave it here. Okay, this will be 116 into 2, this is 232. So this will come, I think 1 or 2, 3 2's are common. See, these 3 2's we can take it. Okay, so I think 8 will be common from that. So if I take 8 common, remaining is here 3n minus, we can check it, 8 2's are 16, so remaining is 7, 8 9's are 72. Yes, 8 will be only common. Now the 3n minus 29 will be a common bracket so that we can take common, and here it will remain in the second bracket n minus 8 is equal to 0. So if I compare both of them with 0, I can say that 3n minus 29 is equal to 0, or we can say that n is equal to 8. Sorry, n minus 8 is equal to 0. Okay, now if I try to find out the value of n from both the equation, I will say that here n is equal to 29 upon 3, or we can say that the value of n will be equal to 8, but we will say that here the value of n cannot be equal to 29 upon 3 because it is not an integer. Okay, because the number of terms should be integer. We can't say that the number of terms will be in the fraction or it can be negative. So we can say therefore the value of n will be equal to 8. Right? Now after getting the value of n, now we shall proceed to find out the value of last term. That is our ultimate task here. Okay. So now we shall write down therefore the value of L is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. So value of a, I think it was 25, and we got recently, that is 8 minus 1, and I think value of d as minus of 3. So once we shall check it. Okay, because we shall proceed further. At least we got the correct information. Yes, you can see a is equal to 25 and d is equal to minus of 3. That only I have kept here. Now let us simplify further. So this will be 25 plus 8 minus 1, it is 7, and 7 into minus of 3, that is 21. So we can say that therefore the value of L is coming here 4. The last term in the sequence will be here 4. So we can say that therefore last term of AP is 4. Okay, so this is your answer. Now let us see the next question. I think one more question at least we can do it. The questions are little lengthier here. That's why we need some time to finish. Last two questions was lengthy. Okay. So now you make a habit for your own. You have to solve such kind of lengthy questions only. Because in 10th class AP and 11th class AP is far different. Okay. So now see the seventh question. Find the sum to n terms of the AP whose kth term is given as 5k plus 1. Here remember k is also one of the unknown term. So we can say that k will lie between 1 to n. For example, total number of terms of AP is 20. Okay, so value of k will be any value between 1 to 20. Okay, so here see what we have given, that kth term is given, means we can say we have given that the value of ak is equal to 5k plus 1, and what we required here, we required sum to n terms. Sum of n terms are required, that I am putting as question mark. So first we shall replace k by 1 2 3, so we shall get the first term, second term and third term. So let us take the value of k is equal to 1. So what we can say, a1 is equal to 5 into 1 plus 1. So we can say that therefore a1, or you can say it is a, because first term normally we consider by a, that will be equal to 6. Similarly we shall take it, the value of k is equal to 2. So value of A2 will be equal to 5 into 2 plus 1. So we can say that therefore A2 is equal to 11. Let us find out one more term. K is equal to 3 if I take. So value of A3 will be equal to 5 into 3 plus 1. So we can say that A3 will be equal to 16. Okay, so now let us write down the AP. So therefore we can say that AP is, my first term is 6, then 11, then 16, and so on. So see, we got here A is equal to 5, then D is equal to 11 minus 6 will be equal to also 5. Sorry, A will be equal to 6. Let me correct this one. In hurry, I wrote A is equal to 5. A is equal to 6 over here. So A is equal to 6 and D will be equal to 5. Okay, and since we need to find out the sum of n terms, so n will be equal to question mark. So now we shall apply the formula of Sn. So Sn is equal to n upon 2 into the bracket 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, now in this we shall put up the values. Value of n, remember it would be n only. So n upon 2 into the bracket 2 into 6 plus n minus 1 into value of d is here 5. Now let us simplify. N upon 2 I am keeping as it is, and 2 into 6 will be 12 plus 5n minus 5. So here we can say that 12 minus 5 will become here 7. So it would be n upon 2 into the bracket 7 plus 5n, or 5n plus 7. Okay. Now n we can multiply inside and we can say the final value of Sn would be here 7n plus 5n square, and that will be whole divided by 2. This is your answer for the n terms of sum of the n terms of the given AP. Okay. Now let us see quickly the last question. I think last question can be done here. So question number 8 I am taking here. See, in the question number 8, what they are saying, if the sum of n terms of the AP is Pn plus Qn square, where P and Q are the constant, find the common difference. Okay. So basically in this question what we have given, sum of n terms means value of Sn we have given here as Pn plus Qn square. Okay, this is the value of Sn we have given. See, in the previous question we have given that the value of AK, so I kept k is equal to 1 2 3, so I got the value of A1 A2 A3 and so on. Similarly here if I put the value of n is equal to 1 2 3, then remember we do not get the value of A1 A2 A3, we will get the value of S1 S2 S3 and so on. Okay, means initially I will get the sum of one term. Sum of one term means if we apply common sense we can say that it is the first term only. Sum up to one term, so it will be only one term. Then S2 if I get, means I will get the sum up to two terms, means it will contain two terms. And if I put n is equal to 3, then I will say sum up to 3 terms I will get, means 3 terms sum I will get over there. So let us proceed in the similar manner. Okay, first I am taking the value of n is equal to 1. So value of S1 is equal to P into 1 plus Q into 1 square. Now S1 means what? S1 means actually A only, sum up to one term. So up to one term it will contain only one term. So that will be equal to A directly. So A will be equal to P plus Q. Okay. Now this can be given as equation number 1. Now let us put up the value of n is equal to 2. So n is equal to 2 means S2 will be equal to P into 2 plus Q into square of 2. Right? Now S2 means what? Sum up to two terms, means S2 we can write down as A1 plus a2 also. The sum up to two terms means the two terms we need to add. So first two terms will be here, a1 and a2. And if we simplify the right hand side, it will be 2p plus 4q. Okay, now a1 normally we do not buy the symbol a, and a2 we can write down as a plus d. Okay, by the formula an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. So a2 is equal to a plus d, a3 is equal to a plus 2d. In that manner we have written. So 2p plus 4q. Now you see a and a we can add over here. That will be 2a plus d is equal to 2p plus 4q. Okay. Now see the equation number 1. What is the value of a? I have p plus q. So value of a I am keeping from the equation number 1, that is p plus q, plus d is equal to 2p plus 4q. Okay, here we can give the reason by equation number 1. Now 2 we can multiply inside, that will be 2p plus 2q plus d is equal to 2p plus 4q. 2p and 2p we can cancel directly because both are the same term lying on the either side of the equation. Now 2q I am sending on that side, so d will be equal to 4q minus 2q. 4q minus 2q will be equal to 2q, so d will be equal to 2q. And see what do we get here? We got the common difference, and in the question they were asking the common difference only. So this is only our answer. So we can say that therefore common difference is 2q. Okay, so this is your answer. You can check once, were they asking the common difference only? Yes, they were asking the common difference only over there. So students, we have finished 4 questions today. Next class again we shall take some more question. 9.2 contain 18 question and we have finished so far 8 questions. So 2 to 3 sessions more will be required over here. Okay, thank you.